The hardest part of being a police officer is arresting someone who thinks they're above the law. What happens when entitled people think they can't be arrested? These 3 shocking stories will leave you on the edge of your seat. Stacy. This first case occurred on October 22nd, 2022. A man phoned the police after a car crashed on one side of his house. The driver abandoned her vehicle and fled the scene before he came out to speak with her. However, he noted some specific details. The cops arrived minutes later, asking for a description. He describes the lady in the best way he can.
What did she look like, the one driving?
Dark hair,
Dark hair,
nice looking girl.
nice looking girl. What was she wearing?
My wife said black.
All black.
Unfortunately, the assailant is nowhere around the scene, making it difficult to trace her. But the cops won't give up yet. They continue asking other neighbors for more information about the crash. After that, they start searching the car. But guess what? This woman left her purse behind, containing her ID and driver's license. At this point, the cops identified her as Stacy. So, it's now time to go after her. It didn't take long for the police to find Stacy in another car, trying to flee the scene. And no, she doesn't look perturbed. Instead, she wears an innocent look. They ask her name, and she's truthful about the details.
What's her name?
My name?
Yep.
Stacy.
Stacy.
They ask her to get out of the vehicle to give further information about the crash. But what she's about to do will blow your mind. An officer asks a simple question. What happened with the crash? She goes, "What do you mean?" Suggesting she had no idea what happened.
What happened?
What do you mean?
What happened with the crash?
What crash?
You ended up hitting a tree. Do you remember that?
No.
No? You're not going to be honest with me right now?
Well, I mean, I'm
A neighbor
not...
said they saw you get picked up.
Huh?
A neighbor said they saw you get picked up.
Okay, well, I mean, that's fine.
So I'm giving you a chance to kind of give me your side of the story of what's going on right now.
I mean, there's really no side of the story to give. I don't understand what you're wanting me to give you.
Okay, well, I want you to be honest with me. That's what I want you to give me.
Well, there's nothing to be honest about. I mean,
The cops are still calm and give her an opportunity to say the truth, but she's insistent. Unbeknown to her, the police have all her details: hair color, all black clothes, full name, and even a photo of her. Stacy tells her truth, and it's that her cars are parked at home. In fact, she didn't crash into any house.
the truth is, like, my car is, like, probably at my house. And, I'm sitting here with my dad.
Well, the house that you crashed into, they talked to you and tried to get you to stay there.
Well, I didn't crash into anybody's neighbors.
Your car is stuck in their house.
Well, that's hearsay.
Was somebody else driving your car?
No, absolutely not.
So it was just you driving.
Well, I wasn't driving.
But you just told me absolutely not, nobody else was driving.
The conversation seemed like it would continue for a long time because Stacy made confusing statements and even accused her dad of driving the crashed car. The officers have had enough at this point, so they ask if she'll do a field test. Of course, she objects to it, so they place her under arrest.
So you're passing your
He
options
was-
to do the field testing.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, you're going to be under arrest, okay?
Why?
Because you're very intoxicated.
Stacy insists she did nothing wrong, but it didn't stop the officers from putting her behind a patrol vehicle. And for the last time, she asks the police what she's been charged with.
Can you please inform me what I'm being charged with?
Yep, I told you it's going to be an OWI. It'll be 4th.
The 4th OWI. But I wasn't driving.
Turns out it's her 4th OWI. She thought she'd get away with this by feigning ignorance. Beautiful woman. If you think Stacy is a talented actress, wait till you hear this next story. On February 5th, 2022, officers responded to a car accident. When they arrived, witnesses gave further details about the driver. They seemed to know too much. The explanations were clear.
She's drunk. And she already said that I don't want to get a DWI in a single car.
Okay. Thank you.
Was she in the wrong lane? No, she was on that side. See, I was coming this way right before the curve, and she blowed around me. Blowed around another car to make the curve. Jump the curve. See her track right there? hit the curb and then it's like this. I don't know what the deal was.
The driver lost control of the vehicle and hit a pole, but luckily, no one was injured in the crash. The police eventually find the driver, and interrogations begin immediately.
So they said you're not having anything medical.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, just based on this driving behavior
I know.
and what people have been saying when we came on scene, would you be willing to take some standardized physical sobriety tests?
Absolutely.
She's calm and beautiful, so they expect it to be easy. They ask if she's had some drinks that night, and she responds in the affirmative.
How much have you had to drink today?
Not very much.
Okay, what is not very much?
Like the legal limit.
Okay, which is what?
Like not very much because I ate and I drank water in between the two.
However, she claims she didn't have much. They suggest that she take a sobriety test, and she's open to that. The test starts immediately. And one thing is clear. Although she's acting sane, she's nowhere near that. The young woman is intoxicated, and her actions put other road users at risk. Without further ado, the police place her under arrest for DUI.
All right, man, go ahead and put your hands behind your back for me, okay? You're being placed under arrest for DUI. All right, I'm gonna have to pat you down before I put you in my unit, okay?
They handcuff her and escort her to the back of the patrol car. Inside the vehicle, they read her rights before proceeding to the station. But not so fast, because this woman had something down her sleeves. She starts apologizing for her actions.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. God.
You don't need to apologize. You know, I'm doing my job, that's all.
I know, and I respect that. I respect.
Hoping they will be merciful. Seeing that trick didn't work, she reminded the officers how cute she was. She says she's too pretty to go to prison, so they'd better drop her off. She takes her acting to the police station too. During interrogation, she attempts to seduce the police and not allow him to do his job. She complimented his looks and recalled a time he showed up at a club where she was in.
All right, so I'm gonna count this in front of you.
I remember you would come up to the Alcatia with your face mask and I'd be like, that is so fine.
Yeah.
And then, like, respectfully though.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, because, like, I'm a mess right now. You had your face mask on, but I was like, that is so fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Let's get back to business,
nobody
though.
wants to date any woman that's looking like this, so yeah. You are such a handsome man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, I do.
Worst of all, she couldn't get her hands off the officer's body. While waiting for her medical examination, she could not resist flirting with the officers. Whoever told her actions could lessen her sentence lied to her. She gets even more dramatic and would not stay at a place.
You're right.
Hey, come over here. This way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to say hi. I'm sorry.
Wild, man. Come over here.
I'm sorry.
It happened.
All of these did not change a thing about her sentence. She was hit with aggravated DWI and reckless driving. Nicole Campson. And this story leaves you wondering, why the heck do you need to fight the cops? This time, it's not a car crash or DUI. It's a case of domestic violence. Neighbors called the police after seeing a man and a woman engage in a heated argument. Luckily, the cops arrived right on time.
Miss, stop! Stand there. Don't tase her. Okay, I won't. Stand there. Stand there. Stand there.
July 10, 2021. A woman was walking away from her alleged victim when cops arrived. It was easy to order her to stop so they could do their job. But no, this woman would not succumb so easily. She takes to her heels and gives the officers a run for their money. They run after her, and seconds later, she's apprehended. They order her to put her hands behind her so she can be handcuffed. This woman is a bit too heady. She keeps screaming until the handcuffs sits well on her hands. The officers are not moved by her actions. This one was familiar because they've had to deal with overly dramatic people while on duty.
Stop!
Roll over on your stomach.
Put your hands behind your back.
My hair, please stop.
Put your hands behind your back.
I want to cooperate. Please stop.
Do it now.
I can't breathe.
Put your hands behind your back right now.
Please. My hair is in my face. Please.
Put your other hand behind your back.
Hey, step back. Step back.
Even after being handcuffed, she attempts to flee the scene.
Do not pull away from me. Do you understand? You are under arrest. You are going to comply. You are not going to pull away from me.
The cops ask her name, and she refuses to tell them. They ask about her job, and she's adamant too. While taking her to the back of the patrol vehicle, They decided it was best to search her first. Well, you can guess the idea didn't sit well with her. She immediately goes on a yelling spree. The young woman insists that the officers should not touch her. They quickly understood what she was trying to do and called a female officer to help search her. Before driving off, the officers spoke to another set of neighbors to discover more details. At first, eyewitnesses thought it was a joke until things spiraled out of control. One of the witnesses revealed that she kept dragging her victim, tore his shirt, and pulled him to the ground.
I was sitting in front of my window and they came up with a stop sign, and basically she was all over him. He didn't really do anything, but she kept grabbing him, ripped his shirt open, kept jumping on top of him, trying to get him to the ground. They finally did get to the ground, but then came back up and wouldn't let him leave or anything else. Well, at first I'm like, are they just screwing around? Yeah. Because she was all over him.
By now, they already have the sufficient information to charge her. They drove her to the police station, where she was eventually charged. She was slammed with assault on a police officer, possession of drugs, resisting arrest, and resisting and disorderly conduct. These charges were ultimately dismissed, except for the resisting and disorderly conduct. That's all for today. I'll see you in the next one.